So it seems there's been a chess move gone wrong in a Cold War we all thought was done. And selective badness seems to be the trend right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me break it down and give you a logical timeline of events. If you haven't guessed already, let me fill you in. Why for that? Anyway, we're talking about the whole Tankz, Spray and pound sterling situation. So we all saw Tankz and Spray get at it on the RTM podcast a few weeks ago. Spray was talking about gigs, their past and their ongoing beef. Spray said he was making a diss track on gigs every day, going mad, and Tankz said he was begging it. That was a big mistake, because Spray went crazy. The situation went viral across social media, and Tankz has been on damage control ever since. Now, Tankz claimed he didn't know about the past beef and what happened to Spray, but I find that hard to believe. The guy is a journalist, he knows everything about the scene. In my opinion, he knew what he was saying. That's why he said it so cheekily. But I don't think he really knew about Bine from 2002, so he quickly backed down. The episode was a good one, but it dipped slightly and went left from there. As the tone shifted, my only critique of RTM is that sometimes too many people talk at once, and it ruins the listener's experience. Spray needs to pattern that element going forward, and it's a win-win for everyone. But anyway, Tankz, after the show, automatically had to do damage control. He started running through excuses, saying he didn't know, saying he and Spray were cool, and how he didn't back down. But to me, he kind of did back down. If you watch the Sinners podcast, Tankz gets into an argument on there, and he's got hella smoke for the guy he's clashing with. But in the Spray situation, he didn't want to know. He didn't want any part of that beef. Once people started seeing how viral the moment was becoming, and knowing there were views to gain, every blog page, podcaster, and social media influencer started covering it. This is where the chess moves began, and the winners talking mandem saw their chance. They must have called Tankz in for their podcast. In the episode, Pound Sterling addressed the situation between Tankz and Spray, offering him some big bro advice. He said things like, "You don't have to be aggressive, but as a man, you can walk away from disrespect." Doug, on the other hand, was trying to back Tankz, saying he didn't think he was shook, even though, realistically, you can tell Doug thought the same as Sterling. But both of them being older, they were trying to offer wise words instead of fanning flames. Tankz responded to Sterling by saying, "You're dragging it." Even I thought that was rude. I almost spat out my ginger tea and M&S rich tea biscuits. The episode finished, and again, the winners talking guys did their thing. But one thing I found strange about this whole situation, the week after you beef with Spray, you jump on winners talking. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but let's not act like there's no subliminal messages in these chess moves. Winners talking knew what they were doing by inviting Tankz on, and Tankz knew what he was doing by showing up. Then came the master chess move when Tankz posted the clip to his TikTok using Spray's song Mind Games as the audio. Again, I was drinking a matcha iced tea at the time and I almost dropped it in shock. But the chess move went wrong, because once the interviews dropped, Pound Sterling looked like he was just getting disrespected by Tankz. What should have been a big bro, little bro conversation turned into a strange, disrespectful exchange. Then a few days later, Pound Sterling dropped a video and titled it, "My Guys Wanted to Slap Tankz." But in the video, he has two female guests and explains how when his people watched the interview, they felt Tankz was disrespectful and wanted to slap him. They discuss whether it might have been a misunderstanding, or was he really being rude. Tankz then put out this tweet. 50-year-old guys using my name for clout. Again, this is very cheeky, because who are you really talking about here? Because Spray's been talking about you, and so has Sterling. Then in a recent video he said, "I'm sick of these 50-year-old men using my name for clout, saying their friends want to beat me up. Now you're changing stories and deleting messages." This statement made it clear that he was addressing the winners talking team, which is crazy. What I will say is, where was that energy on the RTM podcast? Also, let's not forget the Winners Talking podcast didn't say anything wrong. They were genuinely trying to advise you on how to handle yourself as a man. They didn't say you have to react aggressively. They said remove yourself from disrespect, which is actually great advice. This whole selective badness towards winners talking feels very insecure to me. People are forgetting that back in the day, Pound Sterling and Doug were very respected individuals. Now they're older, more mature, cooler on camera, but just because they're calm now, don't get it twisted. They're not the weakest link on the board. That would be a fool's mistake. But Tankz is smart. And he knows the Winners Talking podcast are smart guys too. They're not going to crash out or do anything silly while they're building a solid platform. So choosing them to go at might seem like the most logical move to save face. But to be totally honest, I don't even think the RTM podcast would crash out on camera either. Their platforms are too big. They've got too much to lose, and they've already lived through the madness of the past. Everyone's trying to change their lives, but cheeky comments are cheeky comments, and sometimes people slip. Now to wrap this up, so far in the saga, it seems Spray and Tankz are allegedly cool, and now Tankz and Sterling are somehow throwing shade at each other. Anyway guys, let me know if you think I've got this right, or if you think I've read the situation totally wrong. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments and make sure you like and share the video.